Hello and welcome. In this video, we'll be going through the troubleshooting section of the Godot documentation. Shouldn't take us too long, so let's get started. The editor runs slowly and uses all my CPU and GPU resources, making my computer noisy. Well, let's take care of that. In the Godot editor, under the 3D workspace, where it says perspective, click on this and then go down to where it says half resolution and click on that. Now everything within your viewport will be rendered at half resolution, so it will run a lot faster. Something else we can mess with is the low processor mode sleep setting. So to get to that, we need to go to editor, editor settings, and then just type in low processor mode. What you're looking for is this low processor mode sleep. And then you can increase this to 33,000. Be aware, by making this a higher number, the editor will be less responsive, but it will decrease your CPU and GPU load pretty significant. So let's say you have a node that is lagging your editor considerably, such as a particle systems node. What we can do is we can hide it and then add a script to it. In the ready function here, all we're gonna do is type in show. Save that, and then I'm going to run the scene. And as you can see, it is not visible here. When I hit F6, it is visible. The editor stutters and flickers on my variable refresh rate monitor with G-Sync or FreeSync. Well, let's take care of that too. Go into Godot, go to editor, editor settings, and then you're going to type in update. And right here, you're going to see update continuously. You can check that on. This will cause the editor to render constantly, so I don't really recommend using this unless you absolutely have to. You can also combine this with the low processor mode sleep. So you can raise this to 33,000 and that should help. Alternatively, you can disable variable refresh rate on your monitor or in the graphics driver. And then VRR flicker can be reduced on some displays using the VRR control or fine-tune dark areas options in your monitor's OSD. I would show you this, but my monitor does not have that feature. If you're using an OLED display, use the black OLED editor theme preset in the editor settings. So go to editor, editor settings. Under interface and theme, you'll see a color preset here. You'll just select black OLED. The editor or project takes a very long time to start. This is because shaders need to be compiled before they can be cached, and they need to be cached again after updating Godot, after updating graphics drivers, or after switching graphics cards. If it happens after that, it's because you are using Corsair's iQ software. As an example, try updating USB peripheral drivers. And if the bug persists, you need to disconnect the peripheral. So that's not too helpful. I'm sorry if you're using anything like this. Firewall software such as Portmaster may also cause the debug port to be blocked. But we can work around this by changing the debug port used by the project in the editor settings. So let's try that out. So back in Godot, you're going to go to editor, editor settings, and you do need to have advanced settings turned on if you want to see this. So click on advanced settings, and now under network, you'll see debug. You'll see that the default port is 6007, and it just says to use a port that's larger than 1024. So they suggest using 7007. The last paragraph covers Windows Defender. So with Windows Security open, click on Virus and Threat Protection. Go to Manage Settings underneath Virus and Threat Protection Settings. Go ahead and click on Add or Remove Exclusions, and you're going to add your Godot project folder to the exclusions. The Godot editor appears frozen after clicking the System Console. This is an easy one. To solve this, select the System Console window and press Enter to leave selection mode. The Godot editor's macOS dock icon gets duplicated every time it is manually moved. All right, let's take a look at this. I am on Windows though, but let me boot up macOS. All right, we're in. Okay, so let's pretend like this bottom tab is your macOS dock. Whenever Godot starts running and it makes a little icon in your dock, just leave it there. That's it. Some text such as no DC appears in the top left corner of the project manager and editor window. Now, this is what it's going to look like. As you can see here, it says no DC. You want to get rid of that, you need to restore your graphics driver settings to the default values in the NVIDIA control panel. So let's open up the NVIDIA control panel, and I'm assuming you click on Restore Defaults here. To disable this overlay on Linux, you'll open NVIDIA settings, go to X Screen 0, and go to OpenGL settings and uncheck Enable Graphics API Visual Indicator. A microphone or refresh icon appears in the bottom right corner of the project manager and editor window. This is happening because of shadow play recording, and to disable it, hit Alt-Z or go to Settings, HUD, Layout Status Indicator. I don't have this, so I can't show it to you. Alternatively, you can install the new NVIDIA app. The editor or project appears overly sharp or blurry. Well, I can show you how to do this on Windows with NVIDIA. Let's open up the NVIDIA control panel, click on Manage 3D Settings, which is where I'm at. Then right here at the top, you can see where it says Image Sharpening, and then all you need to do is set it to off. Mine is already off. If you have an AMD card, then you will need to do this. If the editor or project appears overly blurry, this is likely due to FXAA being forced on all Vulkan or OpenGL applications. If you're on Windows and using an NVIDIA card, we'll go back into our NVIDIA control panel, go to Manage 3D Settings, then where it says Anti-Aliasing FXAA, just have that set to off, or Application Control. And if you're on Linux, then you'll need to do this. If you're on Windows with an AMD card, you'll need to do that. Apparently VK Basalt will also do this, and it wants you to make sure you restart Godot. The editor or project appears to have washed out colors. Basically, you need to disable HDR. And if you choose to continue using HDR, then you need to do this and use the Windows HDR calibration app. The editor/project freezes or displays glitch visuals after resuming the PC from suspend. Apparently, this is a known issue on Linux with NVIDIA graphics when using the proprietary driver. However, the NVIDIA driver offers an experimental option to preserve video memory after suspend, so I would look into that. The project works when run from the editor, but fails to load some files when running from an exported copy. This is an easy one to mess up. It says here, this is usually caused by forgetting to specify a filter for non-resource files in the export dialog. This is because Godot will only include actual resources into the PCK file. So what it's talking about is within Godot, go to Project, go to Export. Now you'll go into your preset or your template, and next to options, you have resources. So right here, if you needed those JSON files, you would need to type this in here, filter to export non-resource files and folders. In addition to that, files and folders whose names begin with a period will never be included in the exported project. And for people who are on Windows, it can also be due to case sensitivity problems. As I mentioned in the best practice section, try to be consistent with your naming scheme so that things like this don't happen. The project crashes frequently or instantly after opening it from the project manager. This can be caused by a number of things such as an editor plugin, GD extension add-on, or something else. Very specific. I wish I could help you more with this, but what I can tell you to do is go into your project, and when you see it, click on this arrow right here and then edit in recovery mode. Then you'll have to edit it in recovery mode. Hopefully you can fix it so it stops crashing. That's it for the troubleshooting section. If you have any questions or feedback, please leave me a comment. I am here to help you. If you have any other issues with Godot, leave me a comment and I'll help you out. I'm not trying to be a YouTuber. You know what I mean. I'm not trying to sell anybody anything. I really just want to help people. So just leave me a comment and I'll get to you. With that said, in our next video, we'll be going over the editor introduction section. Hope to see you there. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.